Vision 2050 statement clearly states, in this decade, the 2020s, our nation must make a leap in as far as economic empowerment of our people and our provinces and our nation. So when I uttered the word, the richest black Christian nation in 2019, it was not an off-card statement. It was very much consistent and congruent to the core aspirations of a nation. The 5-point plan embedded in 1975, our national constitution's focus on our people equally benefiting from all resources born out of our country, and again, the aspirations of various generations of leaders down up to today. 2022 elections have confirmed that the people are hearing, they've heard, and they passed the verdict. It is now time for all of us, leading Papua New Guineans in various sectors that has our fingers on the pulses of our economy, to rise up. It's about time we move away from conversations and forums and conferences, because I am not new Prime Minister. This is not a new government. We are continuing since 2019. My conversations have been heard loud and clear, by far and wide, but more importantly, by our people where it matters most. It is now time we move beyond these conversations. We engage on work conversations and not constant conversations. We must now work, and I'm happy. National Fisheries has been one of the success agencies of government since 2019. You have not waited, you've gone to work. That was totally reflected in the plan that we've launched together last year. And now you're starting off by engaging a very, very important layer of Papua New Guinea, and that is the sub-national government level. Out of our 21 provinces, 14 are maritime provinces. When we include the special region of Bougainville, you have 15 sub-national government who are direct in contact with marine resources, marine lifestyle, the aquaculture business, and the fisheries business. Fisheries is not a small-time business, a leisure business, or a pastime, or just for sustenance and food. Fisheries must be seen as a major business in our country. It must be given its correct emphasis and placement, and I stand here today. If it was not for this line of conversation, I will not be here. If you were a minor player, I will not be here. Yesterday I was in forestry. I went in unannounced and I put them on notice that you must contribute your fair share to our ambition to peak past 200 billion Kina economy in this decade. You must now look into your fair share of contribution. Our conversation on downstream processing, our conversation on state marketing option, our conversation on state being the business to ensure our people and provincial governments are linked to a conduit where we bring market closer to the production of our produces. And this same conversation and same theme runs into the fishing space. I am happy that my meet with forestry happened yesterday and is back-to-back with the fishery sector. The same sort of emphasis governments of past have been giving to the mining and oil and gas sector. Today, the Pango-led government and my generation of leadership, we want to put our pulses, if not in an equal manner, our pulses in a big manner, to fisheries, forestry, and agriculture. The rationale is simple. The rationale is simple. Our modus operandi in the last 30 years have been just on mining and oil and gas in a big way, where they only touch under 10% of Papua New Guinea in as far as the footprint of the mining and oil and gas projects are. The neglect to fisheries, the neglect to forestry, and neglect on agriculture has had a big toll on people empowerment and participation. 80% of Papua New Guineans are in touch with sea, forest, and land. Are in touch with sea, forest, and land. It is now government's business at the national level through framework policies and, if need be, corrective legislative amendments or promulgations. And it is now also up to provincial governments and Bougainville to run with what needs to be done in translating the vision into workable programs where people are engaged, not in just subsistence fisheries or subsistence agriculture or subsistence forestry, but bringing our people, our clans, our districts and our provinces into commercial fisheries, commercial forestry, commercial agriculture, and of course tourism also runs at the back of this. So I'm happy that fisheries is very proactive. I look forward to the provinces picking up the agenda. And I want to offer a counsel here to National Fisheries Authority. Let's now start our concept of having a fishing company up at the top, be fully developed and established. We have a regulator. National Fisheries Authority maybe becomes the regulator. We have a commercial arm that runs our fishing business, and through that, you then partner provinces and you partner land-owning people or sea-owning people, marine people, into the space of doing business. That 80% of Papua New Guineans who are out there don't think they are stupid or they are not with a mind. They can be in businesses. And I want to point to a success story that National Fisheries Authority has embarked upon, the artisan fish sort of a marketplace we've established in Manus. Today there is no reason why people living in the Loringau Bay area, you go hungry with no money. We've now put our money where our mouth is. We now have a buying point already in Loringau Bay area. Manusians who live in and around this place should be out there. If I was a Manusian, I'll be out there fishing every day, bring my catch back. Doesn't matter what happens to the catch, it's that company's business. For me, I just go and fish and sell it back to the buying place. Government's business is to ensure we bring the production and market chain closer to our people, eliminate impediments, eliminate middlemen who may not be even passing the benefit back to our people, bringing market closer. And we must get out there in trying our very best to harness the benefit of this one. And so National Fisheries, let me say thank you very much for your support to our national government, to bridging the gap between us here at the national level and the important people, the provinces. When you do this, your focus to create, when you talk about international competitiveness, when you talk about having a sustainable sector, when you talk about an inclusive socio-economic growth, when you talk about food security, these important issues gets to be attended to when we bring our province behind with us. Our statement at the elections, when I went to the last election, I said, leave no child behind, leave no place behind, leave no province behind. We want all our provinces to rise up. And today, I want to conclude by asking our provinces, don't talk about autonomy without thinking about doing business. Don't talk about provinces being a progress center without you not having the interest to go out there into the space of harnessing whatever resources God has placed in your provinces. For the development fund you are seeking is generated in some place. Provinces must be the point of generating revenues for the province and collectively for our country. And we at national government stand ready to assist. Which provinces want to catch the early worm, so to speak? The fishing sector must be open to our provinces. Let's empower our provinces, and provinces empower our people. That chain must be complete. National Fisheries and national government, we will find the market. And the market, domestically, is a market of 10 million people. The market internationally and closer to us, within 8 hours of reach by flight to Narita, Shanghai, Hong Kong, Beijing, New Delhi, Singapore, Manila, Jakarta, Sydney, Melbourne, is a market within 8 hours of reach by flight and within a week reach by ship. This market is there for us. Papua New Guinea has a very fortunate bilateral relationship with the super majors of planet Earth. The first biggest economy, USA, I put to them on notice. Don't come here talking to me about political relationships. Buy my producers. Help me go into the downstream sector space. And I'm mixing no word. I'm going to speak on this in the United Nations Forum. Don't come and talk to me about my relationship elsewhere. Buy my producers. Bring your investors in, just like ExxonMobil was here, and I say thank you very much. Now I don't want the catches to go back there. I want the catches to be producing and processing the country. Privileged to have a relationship with them, the biggest relationship, biggest economy. Let's fine-tune that so that they become our genuine economic partners in the downstream sector space, and they become a market for producers. Just a direct route from here to USA, whilst I'm going through an indirect route all the way to Europe to sell my producers. USA, you're right there in my face, buy my producers. Japan, privileged, 10th biggest economy, 110 million people. They almost eat fish for breakfast, fish for lunch, fish for dinner, fish for midnight food. You get fish to supply them. You get China, the second biggest economy, 1.5 billion people. They're now migrating from pork and other into healthy diet. 300 million of them are millionaires. They're looking to prolong their life on planet Earth. Healthy food will be a premium produce going forward into the future. Fish is a healthy food. Marine produce is a healthy food. 1.5 billion people in China. Our pollution-free waters can be the place to supply niche market food from Papua New Guinea. Their businesses need to come in, and take up residence in our country in the downstream sector space. 30 million into the future, 30 million Australians. 5 million Chinese, 270 million Indonesians, 110 million Filipinos, and of course the Greater Asia, including the 1.5 billion Indians. We've got a good bilateral relations with all of them. India, Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, China, South Korea. The marketplace is endless. The sea is big. Let's not limit our mindset to small mindset, thinking we cannot do it. Your government stands ready to invest substantially into this sector. I need clear work-on plan at the national level, at the provinces, and bring my people with you. Don't leave them out. They must be owners of the businesses we have to do in our country. Fish is not just food, and for food safety in our country, fish is an economic powerhouse that is left untapped. Our special economic zones in Manus, Medang, Keviang, Rabaul, Wewak, Vanuatu, and all parts of our country, including the southern side of our country, must be used as a place of industry and rural-based agro, marine, forestry industries, and I want fisheries. In our ambition to bridge from 110 billion kina economy today to a 200 billion kina economy in the next 9 years, fisheries must contribute a quarter of this amount we're looking at. Forestry must contribute a quarter. Agriculture must contribute substantially. The windfalls from oil and gas and mining is just a bonus because they are depletable resources. The sustainable resources where people have been living on sea and land is something we're going back to the basics. The National Fisheries, I'm thankful that you have caught on to the vision that we've outlined in 2019. And now you're bridging the gap between provinces. I now ask provinces, don't just wait for Waigani to give you handouts. Partner National Fisheries, go into the space of businesses and let us ensure this sector comes to life, not just to feed us, but more importantly, sustain us commercially and ground us economically. God bless National Fisheries Authority. God bless all our provinces, God bless Bougainville, and may God bless our country as we go through the celebrations of 47 years of our nation's independence. May our conversation be ramped up on the economic independence drive of our citizens and our collectiveness in Papua New Guinea. Thank you very much.